I'm back. So today is January 7th, and it is 4:54 p.m. I went to the store today because of some things, obviously that we needed and wanted, but there was some things that caught my attention. Empty shelves. It is after the holidays. People are falling ill, including workers, so that's playing an issue. Also shipments because of illnesses. Let me rewind. I was watching this video while I was ill. Yes, we were ill. And I was watching this video, and there was this woman, sweet lady from California. And it had nothing to do with like our community type thing. It was just one of those things that I watch, okay? And she had no clue about the eggs in California. She had actually no clue about anything. And that concerned me. That concerned me a great deal because I'm still finding that there are so many people like her just innocently taking care of her children and doing her thing day by day. And sorry about the clanking, but I've got wet hair and laundry drying and laundry washing. So it is what it is. Not much has changed in that way. I'm still a mess and very organized in my disorganized mess, if that makes sense. But anyways, she had no clue about the eggs, and there was a limit to one. Well, today when I went, let me back up even further here. Josh and I went to the store last week, the end of last week, and everything was fine. And I can't remember, I think that was like a Wednesday or a Thursday, maybe. I can't remember. It might have been a Thursday or a Friday. Might have been Friday. But here we are just days later. It's Tuesday, okay? And there was a limit on eggs today at Aldi. And I did not check when I was at Wally World, and I did not go to Hannaford. But the Hannaford eggs, when we were there, were going on $7 for an 18-pack again. All right. Freeze your eggs. Get your chickens going. Whatever you got to do, just do it. The price of eggs are gas. It's the feed. And we all know about the feed. We've had these conversations in years before, so I'm not going to repeat all that. It's just a whole nother nefarious thing going on there. So, my husband went to work, and he's been working in the mines. And yes, I've been singing Hi-Ho from Snow White to him for months. But there was this man there, and my husband and a co-worker / friend know where they got it from. We're just going to call him the org, okay? And that's where they got it from. Now this is a little ways away from where we live. And it's kind of weird that it would be there, but it isn't at the same time. And I have my reasons, but I'm probably not going to get to that because that's another whole topic in a way, but not. Anyways, okay, again, not much has changed. Let me collect these thoughts and reel them in. So, long story short, my husband got ill on his and my day out. We had an outing, went up and went to some different mountain areas and here in the Adirondacks and, within the 6.3 whatever million acres. So you can travel. We were basically in the middle of the Adirondacks on this particular day. It was a Saturday. That afternoon, Josh started kind of, he kept doing that, and then he would cough something up. And a couple hours later, he's like, I don't feel so good. So we came home, which we were coming anyways. And this is the same town where he contracted it, if that tells you anything. So he contracted it in the same town we were in, and we were heading home. So that was a Saturday afternoon, late afternoon, that he was not feeling well. Sunday, our youngest daughter started not feeling good. So she had the same symptoms as him, but with something added. Then Sunday night, I was feeling but it was Monday when I actually got it. I'm going to speak on myself. I hurt everywhere. My joints, my skin. I ran no fever. My husband ran a fever. His highest was 108 or 101.8. Before that, it was 101.7. And of course, I had to tell him that was a great radio station. Yeah, that's just me. So our daughter, though, so he started off with that weird something going on with his chest and his upper respiratory. And then he started hurting. Then my daughter started hurting. She started sneezing and coughing. And then she went right into the whole stomach thing, the whole vomiting. It was ridiculous. The coldness, she was cold. She had no fever. I had no fever. My husband and I did not get sick to our stomach, only her. Okay, but she's been some other places that we haven't, and with other people that we haven't, but we didn't get that. We just got the cold type symptoms and the body aches, and only Josh got the fever. So days in, they're feeling awful, like they're not letting up. And I was about a day and a half in, then I was fine, until I wasn't. So it was like I went backwards, which got me to thinking it was like COVID or something, but it wasn't, because it was different. Plus, the guy that my husband works with, he said it wasn't because he took one of those things that I refused to take. So, whichever. It was like a compilation of different things within something. It was like an onion. You could just peel back the layers and then put them back on. It was so creepy. It was so creepy. So we had the whole thing going on for a week. And there's still symptoms, by the way. Yeah, we're still trying to regain strength and our minds and the whole thing. So I believe what Allie had was like the Norvo/flu/cold. She had like a whole thing going on there. You know, she went through 10 boxes of tissues by herself. Yeah. Josh went through his fair share and I went through my fair share, but dude, 10 boxes? So, preparedness. Make sure you have at least 20 boxes per person if you have one like mine. Yeah. So that's another thing with the preparedness, filling in holes and whatnot. But it's a time where we took, over spring and summer and this winter, where we again went through and just cycled through our canned goods, our box food, our foods that we put in Mylar bags, our flour, our sugar. I mean, we've just been not through it all, but we really ransacked it. And with the cold season and all the illnesses, we have definitely gone through again and again with the medicines. So that is one thing my family and I will be working on. That and toilet paper. And there's things like brown sugar. Of course, we'll be working on flour again because we've been opening up Mylar bags. Other than that, we're good on the canned goods. We're still cycling through those, though. So now is going to be the time where it's I'm going to be bringing some things forward and starting to buy flats when they're on sale. But we're in good shape. However, because of the expiration dates on some of the medicine type cabinet stuff, we've had to throw things out, we've had to give things away, and then we went, what I did buy, we ended up using. So we have very little of that right now. So that's something that I'm going to put my focus on in the weeks and months to come to get that back up. So, yeah. Anyway, so get your eggs. This whole thing with the avian flu, of course, the influenza A is going around and the B, of course, but the A is higher. And I'm not trying to do any medical disinformation. So before you go and do anything crazy or try to report me, everything is going to be cited. So keeping your family safe. Obviously, don't be going around people that are seemingly ill. I've never been a really big mask person, but please, like I said before, always have some boxes of masks, N95s. I think it was the KN95. If you're feeling ill, please do everyone a favor and put one on, because you're the problem. You know, other healthy people are walking around. If you got something going on, put one on. But if you just came out of something, or it's this time of year and you know there's high cases in your area, be mindful of how much and where you go out. Like how much you go out and where you go out. Children, they're icky and sticky. They do this and they cough and sneeze everywhere. They're in school. A lot of the parents are working at hospitals. Please, just be mindful of what you do and where you go. Wash your hands. When you're out, do not touch your face. You're touching everything else. Wash things, like keep some hand sanitizer in your vehicle. Use it before, use it after, use it during your handling of everything going in and out of the house. I cannot reiterate enough about health and safety for you and your family. And when you say stay safe and healthy, your family's going to stay safe and healthy. So anyway, we can't always know what other people are thinking or what they've been through, but you can definitely be a little bit better on what you're already doing. So I'm going to go to my email here because I've had this up for quite a while now, and there was something I wanted to bring up, and yeah. So the egg shortage, we're already kind of on that. So it is risen like 63% in the past. I mean, it's not even been a year. And it's already raised 63% on the cost. Our eggs were going on almost $7 for 18 again. And they were back down to like $1.70 something. So this whole thing going on in California and Louisiana, and I mean lots of states. It's hit 48 states, 48 of them. And the other illnesses, you know, the one in China, the ones in UK, British Columbia, for instance, Canada, but British Columbia. Speaking of Louisiana and British Columbia, the person with the avian, the H5N1 in those two places, the H5N1, the bird mutation, the avian flu mutation did not come from the bird or another animal. It actually happened in the person who living in Louisiana. So something in their body, in their chemistry, it mutated there, not through the bird. Okay, anyway. And that was from Backyard Birds, by the way. So there are limits, and if you have not seen them yet, you will. So there is limits on eggs, and I'm not saying go out and make a run on your store for eggs, because please do not do that. Please do not do that. Get some, put some back, freeze some, keep some in the fridge for you and your family, but please do not be chaotic about this. There's a lot of women who use eggs for baking for her and her family. Please do not make a run and just buy, hundreds of eggs off the shelves, because that's the problem. But anyway, you can't always read everyone's minds about that. I'm going to talk about reading minds actually for a minute, because this is something that has been around for a while, but because it went to the news today, the whole thing with Elon Musk, actually, he went and put out a thing where, the whole brain trips and how you can move the computer with just, using your thoughts. Anyway, it's supposed to help people. But for every good thing that comes out that helps people, there's about 10 people with nefarious thoughts right behind them. But China unveils mind-reading machine that decodes thoughts in real time. Prepare to be freaked out, right? So, yeah. Their NeuroAccess, a Chinese startup, has rolled out a brain-computer interface, BCI. This Black Mirror look like a bedtime story? I don't think so. In simpler words, a machine that can decode your inner monologue in real time. Now, if you're thinking about how much you want to nap instead of going to work, your boss might know before you do, because in 2025, your thoughts come with subtitles. According to the report, on January 3rd, 2025, NeuroAccess announced that they successfully tested their mind-reading gizmo. And I ain't talking about Gizmo from Gremlins. This device took a peek into the brain of a patient with a brain injury that has translated their thoughts into actual Chinese speech, all without missing a beat. This BCI system uses 256 channel setup that captures electrocardiogram ECOG signals from the brain. Once those signals are captured, the system decodes them into commands. So if you think open Spotify, your favorite playlist pops up. No fingers required. Again, this is great for somebody who has MS and can't feel anything from the neck down, or can't speak, or people who just cannot speak, like people with other brain injuries. So these thoughts, and then the latency of this is less than 30 or 60 milliseconds, and can hit a speech decoding accuracy of 71%. That's still pretty good within 5 days of implantation. So it must take some time, so it is an implant. But again, it's a lot like the whole thing that Musk did with the pigs and the monkeys to the human. Whew. This is weird. So this NeuroXS, okay, it's neuro and then the X, ESS, tapped into a high gamma brain signals after a quick training session. Patients were already out here playing table tennis and a snake on a computer. Words, people. It's really weird. Snake on a computer. 2 weeks later, they were scrolling through WeChat and Taobao, Taobao, like it was no big deal. So the global race to decode thoughts. You think they already didn't have this? They've been doing this. They've been doing this. Militaries, governments. Yeah, they know what you're thinking. The evil one knows humans pretty well, and they've studied humans for a long time, so that's how they're always able to get ahead of people. It's quite the dystopian elephant in the room, if you ask me. So that's a thing. Grace actually sent me that, but I looked it up on a different platform to do. And also, let's see. Yep, back to that in this house. Bigfoot came home, aka Josh, and I just wanted to chit chat with him for a bit. Lots of exciting things happening in this house and outside of this house lately. So I'm just going to leave that there, and I'm just going to go to this next one about the WHO and, UN, all this other stuff. About all these pathogens and these X things. It's not if, it's always when the next pandemic is going to strike. And again, with keeping you and your family safe, and that part is having knowledge of what's going on. People will talk about the fog, people will talk about the drones, people will talk about all kinds of crazy things. Is it crazy though? In the upcoming weeks, you will find out where I stand with that. However, let's just get to some things that they're saying. So we've all heard about the famous disease X and how it's poorly understood and the threats and this, that, the other thing. Well, your media was all drones, and now it's to the bird stuff and these viruses and these quad illnesses that are going on. And yeah, I even said to my husband and my daughter, I was like, this feels new. This feels new. What my family and I had definitely felt new. Anyway, I just want you guys to watch things and watch other countries, watch your other states. So there's a global process in which more than 200 scientists from 50 countries spent 2 years reviewing available evidence on 28 viral families and one bacterial group. That was a total of 1,652 pathogens to reach a consensus on which families and pathogens have a greatest epidemic or pandemic potential. Obviously, a lot of them are going towards this bird flu, but there's working groups used for 3 criteria to prioritize the pathogens that most deserve our attention, they say. So there's this transmission, there's virulence, there was countermeasures. The 12 viral families of risk, 34 priority pathogens, 5 of which are bacteria. There's all these families, and it goes, this thing, I'm going to put this article and the other 2 articles about the eggs and about China's mind reading. I'm going to put that in the description and in the comments of this video. But I want you guys to watch these things and really pay attention. Someone really close to us, a good friend of ours, you might know him, BC, Bushcraft, he had something really bad happen on his property, and other people's animals are getting sick and they're falling ill and they're dying. And there's a lot going on. There's rabbit viruses, there's all kinds of respiratory viruses going on for animals and humans. But there's a lot of rodent things going on, and there's a lot of things in the air, and something ain't right. Something ain't right. It's like, I don't know. It's a real fog right now putting my finger on it, if you know what I mean. Let me clear my screen. I think I'm going to kind of just end this here because I feel like this has kind of been a lot. And I do want my co-host to look at some things. And we'll go over those and